Okay, hello. My name is Alex Mowat, and this video is going to be covering my app that I made called Recipe Roulette. So we're just going to talk about the backstory, the stack that I used to build it, and then a demo so you can see how it works. So first, I guess, backstory on it. So my girlfriend and I love to cook at home and just, come up with new recipes and try out different foods we never tried before. But honestly, sometimes it can be so hard to find inspiration. There's cookbooks out there and Google and all these other sites, but you just kind of need to know what kind of food you want to eat, whether it's like a home style thing or some cuisine or something like that. But we just kind of thought it would be really fun to have a random recipe generator. You just click a button and then pop a random recipe, and you just have no idea what it could be. And it's just a great way to try something new. So that's where I decided. I was like, hey, you know what? I could probably find an API for that actually just gives a dump of a random recipe, and then just build an app off of that just for us to use. And so that's exactly what I did. So the API that I'm using is called Spoonacular. There's a link on my GitHub repo for this one if you guys want to go check it out. And the stack that I used to build it is the Pern stack. So I'm using Postgres, Express, React, and Node to build it. And right now it's just running on localhost, both the backend server and the frontend server. And the database is just local, just because we're just using it at home for now. I do have a lot of plans for new features and distributing it to family members and friends and all that kind of stuff. But for now, this is a fairly new project, so I have what I have, and when I'm ready to deploy it, I definitely will, and that will be a lot of fun. But if you want to see all of the different plans I have for it, just head over to the repo in the issues section, and you'll see all the different features I have for it. But with that, let's just talk about what it does right now. So right away at the home screen, we just have our top bar, our nav bar, which has the home page, and then our saved recipes, which we'll get into in a sec. But for now, we just have the main screen, and here's what a recipe can look like. So we can see there's the picture of it, and the title underneath tells you how many people it serves, just so you have an idea of how big it is, and then how long it takes to make it. And then right below you have all your ingredients. Some of these, maybe you've heard of, some of them we haven't, so that's kind of part of the fun. And then you also have the steps here also. And all this data is just retrieved from the Spoonacular API. I'm parsing it and then displaying it via a React component. And then we have a save button here inside the card for each recipe that gets generated. And so by default, I just kind of had the idea of this app for our supper times mostly, because that's when we struggle the most to find something to eat. So it just defaults to supper. But if you want to change it to a different meal, you can save it to different meal types. So if we want to save this to breakfast, I don't know why you would do that with a tenderloin, but you could. But let's say we wanted to save it for lunch or something, we could do that. And then now this button changes, and if we try saving it, it'll say that it's saved, and we can't save it again. So, no duplicate entries in there. I just thought that was an easy way to do that. And if you want to get a new one, you can just click new recipe and it'll just generate a new one. So I guess now we got chocolate wafers. And so you can see that last time it was, a supper meal, and this is more of a dessert or a snack. But that's the whole fun of it. That is literally the entire point of this app, is just a random, you don't know what you're going to get, roulette kind of style. And that's where the real fun of it, I think, comes from. So if we want to see that saved recipe, we can click on the saved recipes tab, and then again you see it defaults to supper, and so it's blank if there's nothing that is saved. So I don't have anything saved in supper. That tenderloin, we saved it to lunch. So if we go to lunch, it'll display everything in I guess a queue kind of, if you want to think of it as a data structure, everything gets added to the bottom. So the top here, this is just an old one that I had before. So I got ground turkey stuffed peppers, and then if we scroll just a bit farther, there you go, you can see the stuffed pork tenderloin is there now. And then we have other ones, we got a snack category, got breakfast, and dessert. So you can sort them that way. And I thought that was a kind of a clean way to display all the saved recipes, because before I just had it in one big list, and that can get quite challenging. What if I had 50 recipes, At least this way, if we're oh, what are we going to have for lunch today? Just go here and pick something. I guess we'll have this today. I also have a delete feature on here, and so I'm trying to find a recipe that maybe we don't want, because we did actually save this for before. So maybe I'll just delete that tenderloin, because it's just an example. So if we try to delete this, it'll just delete right away for us, and then you can see it's not there anymore. And basically all the what's going on here is every time I click these buttons, it just sends a request, whether it's it sends a request to the API, which I designed following the CRUD style. So I have the create, update, create, read, update, and delete. So yeah, it just sends an Axios request to the server, which is running Express, and then it actually will parse that object that gets sent and perform that operation on the Postgres database, and so on. And then it'll retrieve data and such if I like it as well. So I do have that implemented on the back end. But yeah, that's basically the application, and you can go back and just keep generating new recipes. Every time you click back to the home screen from the saved recipes, it'll generate a new one. But yeah, that's about it. So if you want to see more details about the application, if you want to dig into my code or look at my issues, feel free to do that. You can just go down to the GitHub down in the description, or just click back. You probably came here from there. If you came here not from the GitHub, then I guess I don't know what you're doing here, but thanks for watching anyway. But yeah, so hopefully one day it'll be published and you guys can use it too. But with that, I guess I'll leave it here. So thanks.